Good morning. I just woke up, but I wanted to do, Bert and I wanted to do a video about, this one's gonna be vlog style. I am drafting another knitting project. Good boy, it's a good spot for you. I'm drafting another knitting project, and I wanted to take you guys through my process. And to truthfully take you through my process, we'd have to go back in time, like, I don't know, a year. So this is some yarn my friend got me, or gave me, quite a few years ago. It's been sitting in my stash. I've got a few balls of it. It's Barocco something, I don't know right now, I'll tell you later. I have my coffee. It's in my favorite mug, one of my favorite mugs. I do pour over coffee at home because I don't want to buy a coffee machine that sits on my countertop and takes space. This works fine. It takes a little longer, but I'm like, you know what? It's probably good for me. And you don't make like a million cups at a time. You only make as much as you need, which is great. Okay, back at it. Knitting. This is some Barocco yarn. I'm not going upstairs to figure it out. It's in this, like, I don't know what you would call it, woody, beige, mushroom, brown color. It's almost the same color my old kitty used to be, which is cool. She was the same color as this blanket. With this yarn, I wanted to make like a dolman sweater. So I sketched out a little picture last night, what I wanted it to be. This is the sweater that I want. And here is when I cracked it open and laid it flat. So that's my sweater making process. I hope you enjoyed it. No, we can talk about it a little bit more. With this sweater, because I want it to be a dolman or a bat wing, the arms are super wide and they taper down to these small points. I may, if I need to, make the cuffs really long, or I might keep them short. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. That's the beautiful thing about designing sweaters. I want it to be a V-neck in the front. And do you see this line going down the middle? I want that line to be where the increases are. Why do you need increases? Because it's going to be like a diamond-shaped sweater. So the increases, instead of like a raglan increases, that would go to the armpits. The increases would be down the front, down the back, and down the tops of the sleeves. So that'll be really fun. And so far, it is really fun to figure out. I don't know why, but I always had the hardest time trying to figure out, why isn't this working like how I want it to? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it's because I'm looking at this folded up into a sweater. I need to crack it open and look at it as if it was laying flat. So I figured, because I want it to be a V-neck in the front, I could do short rows, or I just had this thought this morning. Last night my thought was short rows. Which, okay, I love short rows. I could just do like a shawl in the back. You know how shawls increase in the middle and you get a nice little triangle that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger? So I think I'm going to do shawl increases on the back neckline. And when that reaches the length I need it to reach for my neck, then I'm going to count how many stitches for the back neck, cast on that many stitches for each of the front V-necks, and then I will begin knitting in the round in a diamond shape. So here's the swatch. Bam. Little weenie. My partner said it looked like a hot dog bun. No, a taco. He said it looked like a taco. Kind of looks like a hot dog bun now. Here is the swatch. If I'm lucky enough, and if this blocks out to the size that I want it to be, this might be the back neckline. You can see those increases that would create this triangle top. Here's my stitch marker. Down here, this row is where I'm doing my short rows. But I learned this morning I might not need them. Might be redundant. And here's the extra stitches I need to pick up with the short rows. As I was knitting this, I'm getting close to the end of the short rows, and I'm like, that's not very deep. That's not as long as I want it to be. I want it to be longer. And do you know what you need to do to create more length without creating more width? Less increases every row. For this swatch, I'm doing 2 increases every knit row. So that would be every other row. To get the depth I want, I have to do 2 increases every 4 rows, so every other knit row. So this might get frogged right now, and that's okay. I don't mind. I like the process of knitting much more than I like the finished product. So this might get frogged. But this is what it would look like on my back neck. So it needs to be deeper. I want it to be deeper. I want a low V-neck, not a short one. So let's see, but the width is pretty much where I want it to be. So I think I am going to frog this. The width of this is 50 stitches. That's a good round number. The first time I did this, because I frogged this already, the first time I did it, it came out perfectly to 50. I wasn't even counting. I was just like, yep, that looks right. And bam, look at that. So let's frog this one and do it again. This turned out really good today. It's got like the oils are sitting on top, the oils from the coffee beans. Gosh, that's smooth. I'm getting good at this. Either that or I'm picking out better beans. Well, I shouldn't say beans. I should say grounds. Because I don't have a bean grinder. It's supposed to get to like 62 degrees today. It's gonna be so nice. We had a little hint at springtime the other day, and then it snowed again. And it was so windy. It was so windy that with the wind, plus the cold, plus the snow and the rain, it was the coldest. It was so cold. I live in Michigan, for reference. So when I knit these things, I'm knitting for Michigan weather. For me, I feel like I'm a little bit more cold hardy. I live in Michigan. But mostly it's because I hate a winter jacket. And you cannot be cold hardy if you like a winter jacket. I don't know. I hate wearing a winter jacket. The joy in my surprise when I found out that knitted sweaters, homemade knitted sweaters, not store-bought ones, unless you're rich and you can afford that, but a good homemade knit sweater is warmer than any jacket. Especially, there was one day this winter where me and some friends were walking on the beach. It was snowing, it was ice. The beach was making those icebergs that come up on the shore. And I had this sweatshirt underneath, and I had my knit sweater on top. It was amazing. It was the best. It was perfect. It did everything I needed it to do. I had also just gotten out of the pool, and my hair was still wet, so my hair was frozen. But let's do this again. I've been knitting on the swatch a little bit now. Why is it like that? Why is it being like that? It's being a triangle the wrong way. Maybe it'll block out. Maybe I'm being impatient. So oh God. I think we're going back to short rows. We're gonna go back to the drawing board. It's fine. Fine. I learned that if I do increases every 4 rows, it'll turn into a shape like this, but even worse. So I was like, oh, instead of doing 2 increases every 4 rows, I'll do 2 increases every other row. So half of the increases are down the middle, and the other half of the increases are along the sides. And it's still, if I stretch it out, it's a little bit better, but I still get this curl. And I just don't think anything is gonna fix that. So, do you know what we're gonna do? Frog, frog, frog. We're gonna frog, Frog, frog. We are going back to the short rows. And let's try this one more time. I think with the short rows, that will give the back, where am I? Ugh. With the short rows, that will give the back neck the structure that it needs. And it will prevent the back neck from becoming a triangle. I want to go to the yarn store today. I'm knitting this on 6mm needles, but because I'm knitting back and forth, a stockinette gauge is tighter when you do purls. So I want to go to the yarn store today and buy some 5mm needles. No, what millimeters are we on? Yeah, these are 4mm. So I want to go to the store and buy 5mm, but I want to get 5mm anyway for another project that has been on my mind. And then I would like to pick up yarn to redo my African flower tank top, because the one that I have in the last video is super acrylic, and my cat loves, he loves eating acrylic yarn, and I don't love it when he eats acrylic because I'm afraid he's going to die from eating too many macroplastics. Let's try this one more time. I'll see you when I get there. I was having trouble with this, and I learned that a shawl, a triangle shawl, needs 4 increases, not just 2, every other row. So I've got increases every other row going down the middle. I've got increases, one on this side and one on this side, and it's really nice out. So I'm in my swing chair. I'm swinging. All right. I'm gonna keep knitting. There's like enough cloud cover that it's like diffuse. It's not bright, but there's like enough that it's really showing my veins under my see-through translucent skin. So I've been knitting all day. I don't even know what time it is. It's like afternoon. I got this. I think this is how big I would like it to be for now. I want to block it. Look how nice that is. I'm so happy I figured out the increases situation because it was not looking pretty. But I want to block it. I don't want to block it because I want to keep knitting. I want to block it because I want to make sure that the neck is going to be wide enough versus not wide enough. And then it'll be good because while this is blocking and resting, I can figure out how to do the shoulders and then the V-neck. So it's going to be a V-neck line. We can see how low this goes already. It's not that deep. I want it to be at least twice as deep. So what I think I'll do, this is swinging. I'm sorry if you get motion sickness. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I think I'll figure it out. But yeah, what do you think so far? I love it. It's not a bad color. I also have 0 color on my own skin right now because it's been winter time. Today's the first real day of spring. It's March 21st. So yeah, I have no color on my skin right now. Actually, I might have gotten a sunburn just sitting out today for a little bit. So let's get this blocked and start on another project because I'm feeling projecty today. My partner's on a snooze right now. He's asleep. So we are going to whisper. I'm gonna keep my swatch attached to the umbilical cord. And I've got a length of yarn and a finishing needle. And we're just gonna move all the stitches over. So that way I can block this. I will block it and see what it does. I think you get what I'm saying. Damn it. Alright, I guess that's getting blocked too. Okay. We're getting my swatch blocked downstairs. We're in my craft room now, which is a lot of fun as long as you're looking at it from the neck up. Don't look on the floor, it's really bad. I've got a puzzle, so that's fun. I brought you up here because I have this, which my cat has eaten holes in. Let me show you. Here it is. This is the African flower granny square. There's 8 of them. It's made out of 100% acrylic. I think it's like loops and threads or something from Michaels. But you can see all the holes. It is, without a doubt, his favorite snack. And I told you before, I'll tell you again. I don't want him to die from microplastics and macroplastics. So I got not acrylic. Let's get some sunshine on these bad boys. Here is that gold color. Well, let's lay this out so we can see the colors together. Here is some of that gold. Gorgeous. This is not brown, but it's brown enough. High cup wine. Okay, so it's like a deep, dark blue, burgundy, black, whatever. It's an accent color. I don't need a lot of it. So there's that. here is the burgundy. What flavor is that one? Red Screes. Oh my god, Scree! This gold one is Yellow Earl. I would not name my child Earl. This is like a nice burgundy. These mini skeins. What's this one called? Holly Berry. Hi, Holly. And the final one is this white one. What's white? White Heather. So I'm going to use these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to recreate this tank top situation. The things I don't like about this tank top, hold up. The thing I don't like about this tank top is it's too wide for me. I think I'll either get rid of this or I'll make this gold smaller. Or both. We'll see. I don't know. The other thing I don't like is that these straps don't stay on my shoulders. They fall down. And it pisses me off, so I never want to wear it. So I think what I'm going to do when I recreate it is have the straps like crisscross once in the back, so that way it doesn't fall down as much. So we'll see. I'm going to wind up this one, and I might get started on making 8 circles. My work desk is a mess too, so please don't judge me. But I've never caked yarn without a buddy before. He's taking a nap, so I'm gonna try not to bother him. Oh my god, this is interesting. Alright, that was way easier than I thought it would be. Look how cute. He's so small. I might do the other ones. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. This is all messed up. This fucking thing just wants to be a knot. I untied it, and now look at it. What the fuck? So wool holds memory, and clearly this one was the sheep that had but people. It was horrible. Look at that. They are balled up. Let's see how my swatch is blocking. Nice. Wet. Maybe one of these days I'll get a tripod. But today is not that day. It looks like a bat. I love it. Oh, this is fantastic. We're gonna let this sit and dry while we work on that. I've crocheted up one of the African flower motifs. Isn't it cute? So now it's got a block. And I'm also crocheting up the middles to the rest of them. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 plus 6. So I guess I only need 2 more. That's not bad. With the original, I think this was a lace weight versus this one's a fingering weight. That's a good one. Flatten that out for you. Versus, yeah. For the acrylic one, I used 6mm hook. For the wool one, I'm using 5mm hook because this one's a little thicker than this one. We're getting somewhere. Update since yesterday. Today's the next day. Ew. I zoomed through these. I've got 8 granny squares that are still being made. I forgot how much faster crocheting is than knitting. Holy cow. In the amount of time it took me to make this, I probably could have made like 3 of these. But I like knit fabric better. I think it looks better. This has still got a little bit to block, so maybe by tomorrow I'll see what it's doing. But I've got these made. On the original, I just crocheted into this row of yellow or gold, but on the new one, I crocheted into the back loop. So there's a really nice line happening. When this gold border is done, I'm going to do a border of these red next, so that can mimic the flower petals. And then, when that is complete, I will think about blocking it. But we're almost there. These are unblocked, obviously, about the same size still as the original. So I'm imagining blocking it might make these just a little bit bigger. I need to figure out how big these are and how big around I want this tank top to be. So we will see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 granny squares complete. 1, 2, 3. Almost complete. And I have this much red yarn left. Bummer. So I guess that means I'm done for the night. I have this swatch is blocked. What are our dimensions? Why am I holding this? Okay. I think I'm going to call this a spring spling. Wait. Bing spling. Bring spring dolman. Because I want it to be a dolman. That is about 9 inches across. It's interesting because it's like diagonal, so we don't want to measure it like how you would measure rows and stitches. I want to measure it this way because this is the way I'm going to be wearing it. So this is going to go down the back. This is the back neck. It's kind of got a little like bird beak, but that'll probably block out and go away. So this is the back neck. This is going down the back. And similarly, this will be going down the front, and then these will be going down the sides of the arm. So kind of, we don't want to measure this like how we normally would, because it's not going to be worn how we normally would. So I'm going to say 9 across. By 4 1/4. And now I want to make sure it's actually a 9. Because if you don't measure it correctly, your gauge will be off, and then your sweater will be off. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 9. That's fine. So 9 by 4.25. And this is, let me get something better to count with. It's not a pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my god, I lost count. 27 rows? And how many stitches is this? Oh my god, how do you count this? And just to double check, I'm gonna count the loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Following this up. Yes, 18. So that is my swatch. Next, I have to figure out my own measurements. So I am going to find a shirt that fits well enough and we'll measure it out. The back neck was about 9 inches on this, which actually, you know, I might start the shoulders because that's kind of perfect. Awesome. I'm glad we had this conversation. Oh my god. It is almost 10 o'clock and I've been writing a pattern. This will be good. I'm excited. Outside today. This is not a poop stain, it's a rust stain because we are outside. There was a little bit of rust in my swing chair and it dripped on my cushion, so there's a little gross stain. I'm not feeling so hot, but I'm trying to be outside because outside is better than inside when you're not feeling so hot, right? This is where I'm at. I did a lot of writing my pattern last night. You saw that. There's one thing I have to include in my pattern, which is the V-neck increases. So the front side and the back side are gonna have 4 increases each, but I also need an extra set of 2 increases to create the V-neck. I'm going to make the V-neck probably every 4 rows because I want it to be a deeper V-neck. I might have talked about that too, I don't remember. But I casted on the stitch marker, lets me know where the shoulder cap is going to be. And I cast on 2 stitches, which I then increased into 5 stitches. That way it kind of like has a little bit of a swoop instead of a right angle, where it's the back neck and the shoulder. So instead it's gonna be more like this, like shoop. So that'll be cool. I'm about to cast on 15 more stitches here and here. Oh, cute little bangs. My favorite cast on right now is a knitted cast on. I really like it. It's a good cast on. I guess in this case it's going to be a purled cast on because I will be purling the stitches. So just like that. Easy peasy, right? You can't see it. I like purl it in, loop it, bring it back. Do you like how I hold the needles when I'm purling? I basically have like my pinky is doing all the heavy lifting. And then these two fingers are holding the tension. So the pinky holds it in, my ring finger holds it out, my middle finger holds the tension, my pointer finger doesn't do anything. My thumb does all the work. Sometimes I see people, oh fuck, purling. What did I do? Sometimes I'll see people purling with their pointer finger and they do a big like whoosh, whoosh. I can't do it. I tried. Instead, I just use my thumb. Whoosh. So look how easy that is. Catch, bring it down. Whoosh. Catch, bring it down. Whoosh. Alright. I'm gonna do some editing. There is one more thing I wanted to share with you today. It is a gift that I made for a friend. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I think you can see what it is. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.